What were you doing? We have some, unfortunately, more bad cow news.
We're gonna get to that in today's video.
What are you doing? How did you get out, huh?
Almost nailed it, that works. Get that camera angle right here. I gotta stop making it for my height. I always forget that.
Do you always forget not to focus on yourself? Is that what you're saying?
So how do you start a video
start with people?
For new people? Start by like
Talking
introducing,
about we have cows.
like it's winter time on our homestead. How was that for smooth?
So smooth.
We were suggested by a fellow YouTuber in the community to consider the fact that we have new viewers on every video, to include them in the process. I thought that was some great advice. So we're trying to start our videos not only for the existing,
catch everybody up.
Yeah. So with that being said, it's winter on our homestead, and winter in Western PA has changed a lot since the winters you grew up in, playing in head-foot tall snow.
This one has been kind of like that though. The snow we got in November and a couple of nice storms in December already. This week though, it's been gray and rainy. And
we have a lot of standing grass. Not much, not a lot of forage quality out here. Winter pasture stockpile, they call that, for the cows, but there is some here. And so today we're going to be setting up them on a new area where they can forage on what's here, but really what we're doing is we're hay feeding on grass, and we'll talk a little bit about why in the video. We're going to go set up a new paddock area. All right, so I'm thinking what we got to do is pop this off, and then that way we can Last year we did a big project. Actually, it's technically 2 years ago. We did a big project where we put in some heavy traffic livestock pads. Basically, they're like a gravel pad with filter fabric paper underneath them, or geotextile fabric they call it. And the idea is to allow water to drain, have something firm for your animals to stand on in the winter time during mud season. We have learned since putting those in, they work great for traffic. They do not work great for, here animals live on top of this, especially like cows, which have big sloppy poops and are mucky in the winter. So you either have to clean the gravel pad every day, which cleaning gravel, there's like nothing harder than cleaning gravel pads. You put a pitchfork down to scoop something up and it hits gravel, and you can't get like a good clean scrape. Concrete is better for that. You can clean concrete. It's so hard to clean gravel. So what we have decided is we're going to try to keep the cows, whenever we can, back out on pasture where cows thrive. We're not counting on winter stockpiling or forage to feed them because there's really not much here, like I already said. But there is a little bit they can munch on, which is nice. It'll lighten the load that it takes to feed them hay-wise. Hay is hard to find this time of year, and this year we had a hay shortage where we are. More importantly, their poop is not a problem up here. Permaculture, problem is the solution, bro. The problem of manure down at the barn, creating a mucky mess. Up here, properly dispersed on the pasture, being in different areas. If we spread hay, let them eat it, poop, and then go to another spot the next day and put hay there, we will be reseeding our pastures, adding nutrient back to our pastures, and keeping the muck problem away from the barn. So it's a win-win. The only thing is that is hard to do when the snow piles up. So when the snow piles up, they'll be back in the barn, back on the heavy traffic pads, and I just have to clean it out with the tractor every once in a while. Now let's get to the reason we are making this video. There's a problem with our cows. Some more bad news, and we're gonna talk about that when Kay arrives. Gator. We had plans this year of putting some permanent fencing out here in the field so we wouldn't have to be doing this. But the way 2020 went, we did not have a chance to finalize that project before winter arrived, and it's hard to do a good project like that in the winter. If we have a mild winter, it wouldn't be. But it's hard to plan for a mild winter. If you go and plan for a mild winter, it's bound to disappoint. Of course, it'll probably be 50 degrees all January and the ground will be soft and we'll be sitting inside, you know, having time but not have planned to do anything with it. So who knows? It's one of those things. It can go either way.
They want your hay. The last time we did a video about the cows, I had noticed that although confirmed pregnant, Luna had been bleeding. There was some discharge, which was a bad sign. That meant I needed to rerun blood work on her to figure out if she was still pregnant or not. We pulled blood on her and on Honeybee. I think we had Grasshopper at the same time because I knew the bull had got her right before he left, so I wanted to check to see if she took. Pregnancies came back. Luna was negative. Grasshopper positive. Honeybee, who was positive, I was just running as a precaution, came back negative. That meant Luna has lost a few pregnancies this year. Honeybee has lost, and I believe Grasshopper has lost as well. Something's going on with our herd.
Yeah, those of you who have been around since Luna gave birth to Grasshopper, you may remember that we had to yank her.
Yank her, gently pull her.
I was yanking.
It's a lot of pressure to pull a calf.
Yeah, so I pulled Grasshopper out of Luna, and we were kind of worried because Grasshopper was large, and I'm new to this. Maybe I had done something wrong, pulled her the wrong way. You know, you're supposed to handle the hoofs the right way and everything. And so there was a concern that maybe there was some kind of trauma to just Luna. She was the first to lose a calf. And when it was just her and then her again, it was like, uh-oh, maybe I did something wrong. Now we know, okay, the calves, Honeybee and Grasshopper, have never calved. They're still heifers. Mm-hmm. And so whatever it is, it has nothing to do with whatever happened at birth with Grasshopper. It's something
else. I had the vet out because I want to run a vitamin and a mineral panel on them to see if we're missing something nutritionally, if their loose minerals aren't enough in some area. Also, they call it an abortion panel because they've been aborting these calves so early, embryos so early. There's something going on. Is it a disease, a deficiency somewhere? Have they picked up something from the wildlife around here that we need to be aware of and start vaccinating for? The vet came last week. We should be hearing this week the results from all of those tests. He did palpate them internally to make sure there was nothing wrong there, and there wasn't anything wrong. In fact, he noticed Luna was starting to ovulate, so they're all ovulating and going through their cycle regularly.
Now,
I don't know what it is.
Okay, I'm going to cut a couple comments off
and talk
of the
about
past.
Yeah, it's not nutrition.
I'm going to cut a couple comments off.
No matter what my husband said.
I'm going to cut a couple of comments off the past here. Some people will say your cows are too fat. Some people will say your cows are too thin. The nature of seeing cows over YouTube is
you can't really
cannot tell.
The nature of determining a cow's body condition score is, it's hard to tell on camera, by picture, by video, much easier to tell by feeling. Fortunately, when the vet was here, he was able to feel them and see them and tell me their condition is great. Don't give them any grain. They don't need any grain. They're not too fat. They're in nice condition.
That was his words. Don't give them any grain.
He's a cow vet.
Yeah.
He actually raises cows himself, so he knows his cows. We'll just wait back on those results to give us some clue about what's going on with the girls. As up to this date, up to right now, Grasshopper is still pregnant. I keep checking her for any signs of an abortion, any bleeding, any discharge. I haven't seen any yet. Hopefully she keeps this one.
Go ahead and wax poetic about our year with the cows.
Wax poetic about a year with cows. What do you want? You want to look at the bright side?
Or dark side, you know, you or me.
Bright side, dark side. It's been a frustrating year. Breeding cows is something that on a good year is frustrating to me and kind of weighs on me until they're bred. And to have so many ups and downs where everyone's been bred, but still only one of the 3 are actually still pregnant has been very frustrating. And I just hope it's something easy to solve. It has been quite a year with cows.
Luigi in our
Did you do that on purpose? Is that why you got me a red hoodie?
You just need a thicker mustache.
I'll work on it.
Here we are again. Bad news about the cows.
Bad news? Sorry, it's not funny. It's just,
I mean,
it's homesteading. It's just what happens. If you do anything long enough, something bad will happen, and we've been doing it long enough that bad things happened.
Yeah. And right now we're waiting on results, so you're gonna wait on them too. As soon as we have more information, we can't really make any decisions right now. We don't know what's causing the problem, so we're kind of in a holding pattern. That's part of homesteading. Until then, we're just kind of full steam ahead. We actually are preparing, we're starting to plan for the upcoming year. 2021, we actually placed an order for some animals today. And keep that secret. We have an upcoming live stream with the Homesteady Pioneers planned. It's our first one of the new year. If you're a pioneer, you're gonna get an email invitation for a live stream with Kay and I. We're gonna do a live podcast, talk about the year past and how that was and the lessons we learned from that. And then we're gonna do an episode year looking forward and the plans we have for that and what we're gonna be getting. So if you'd like to join us live for that, click here to become a Homesteady Pioneer. I'll put it in between us or over here, wherever it shows up. And you can become a pioneer. Join us live for our interviews. We have a lot of good stuff planned for the upcoming 2021. Hopefully things start to turn around and we have a much better... It's homesteading.
It hasn't been that bad.
It's okay.
Right? Could be worse.